All right, well, we're going to make you pick the Subway Street Stock Challenge contestant tonight, Beth, so go ahead. Good pick. Todd Knight. Todd Knight in Cars. Thank you, Beth.
No problem.
So if Todd wins tonight's feature, all of you here with adult tickets will get a free 6-inch meatball sub.
Participate in our favorite sport of auto racing. We thank you for the many blessings of our land. And as our racers go the extra distance tonight, please help us and guide us to go the extra distance to be kind and gentle and helping to our fellow man. We thank you for the many blessings that you bestowed upon us, and as our fans leave this evening, keep them safe, guide them back to their homes and back to the Motordrome for another night of racing. In your name we pray, amen.
The 46 of Sean Schaefer from Ridgeway. Out of Wyoming, New York, the 71 of Sean Dunning, the 61 of Larry Bahana from Monongahela, the 80 of Nick Durantz from Cannonsburg, and the 33 is Greensburg's John Komarinsky. Race number 1 in car number 90. Green is out. And off they go. Richard third. Mitchell on the outside, nosing ahead of Gary Wiltrout. Now they're even up into turn 3. Wiltrout by a nose into turn 1. Mitchell carrying the momentum on the outside, trying to stay alongside down the back straightaway. Mark Poole is third. Sean Dunning is fourth, and Sean Schaefer fifth. Wiltrout now able to make the pass. He leads by a car length, but elected to stay down on the low side. Mitchell will fall in behind Gary and pull in behind him down the back straightaway. Separated themselves from the rest of the field. A real scramble behind them. Sean Pilla is now fifth in the 5. 46. Sean Schaefer is 6. We've got a lot of Seans here tonight. We've got Sean Dunning in the 71, Sean Pilla in the 5, and Sean Schaefer in the 46, running in that order. Mitchell again staying right with Gary Wiltrout. John Komarinsky, who started this race last, trying to move up into 6th in car number 33, the Rolling Rock Special. He moves to 6th. To go. So we put an end to our preliminaries for tonight's Napa 200. Gary Wiltrout has been your leader from the start. We got a spin on the back straightaway. Checkered flag for Wiltrout. Mitchell second, Poole third. Dunning 4th, Pilla 5th, and Komarinsky 6th. Larry Behan the 61, spinning around there in the final lap. Acalon, Mike had to miss last week's racing after some gallbladder problems, but feeling much better, he says, tonight, and back in the saddle again. Your defending champion in the 48, Mike Bacalon out of North Versailles. 37, Paul Urso from Glenshaw. The 16 of Gary Scott from Harrison City. 32 is Matt Panay from Charleroi. 97, George Pinicola from Pittsburgh. 31, Matt Smith from Charleroi. The 60 of Bobby Bentz. The 22 of Brian Pickering. 6, Tommy Bentz. 49, Jim Webb. The 15 of George Tinicola. 47 is Chris Dodds. And the 77 of Brian Stevenson. Green is out. And the Sheets Modifieds roll into turn 1 and 2. Jim Nicola grabs the early lead from the pole. Outside front row starter Mike Bacalon is second. The race for third between the 37 of Paul Urso and the 16 of Gary Scott. George Pinicola, the 97, running 5th, and Bobby Benson, the 60, is 6th. A lot of strong modifieds. In fact, if you look, the front 6 cars all have at least one feature win this year. Front 6 cars all have at least one win this year. starting to put a little pressure on Nicola, the leader. Bacalon to the inside again, but it's still Nicola in front by car length. Bacalon second, Scott third, Urso fourth, Nicola fifth, and Ben sixth. Bacalon now trying to pull alongside of Jim Nicola down the backstretch into turn number 3. They are side by side for the lead. Off the fourth turn. Mike Bacalon may have had the lead that time by. He does now by half a car length in turn 2 and down the back straightaway. He'll extend it to almost a full car length into 3. Jim Nicola back behind him now. The race for third. Here comes George P. Nicola to the low side of Gary Scott. Can't make it work down the front stretch. And Bobby Benson, car 60, moving up to fifth. And the Stans Transmissions, Louisiana Auto Service 60. Georgie Nicola again to the inside of Gary Scott as they race down the back straightaway. Nicola passing Scott for third. Here comes Benson, the 60, trying to move to fourth, and he does. Scott trying to battle back around Benz for fourth. They are wheel to wheel through turns 1 and 2. Benz makes the pass again down the back straightaway. Jim Nicola right in there, putting the pressure back on race leader Mike Bacalon. Nicola has not let Bacalon get away at all. It was on him like a new suit through 1 and 2. Much faster as Jim, it looks like, in the middle part of the turn. Halfway, 10 down and 10 to go. Bacalon trying to protect that low side. Jim Nicola's nephew, George P., running third right now in the 97. Here comes Nicola now to the outside of Bacalon. Bobby Benz still fourth. Gary Scott fifth. Paul Urso sixth. Benson the 60. Looks like he's got some mustard as well. Look at him go down the back straightaway, getting by the 97 of Georgie Nicola for third. Off of 4, it's still Bacalon and Nicola. Benz up to third, and now Scott to the inside of Nicola. Georgie Nicola trying to get back up to fourth. Can't make it work in 1 and 2, and Paul Urso now right there pressuring Gary Scott as Urso runs 6. Matt Smith is 7th. Brian Pickering 8th. George T. Nicola 9th, and Matt Panay runs 10th in the 32. So far. There's 5 more laps to go. 5 more laps remaining. Jim Nicola again trying the outside of Mike Bacalon. Trying to get a little closer. Carry that momentum. Looks to be faster in the middle of the turns. And we've got a spin. It's George T. Nicola in the 15 car. He is the brother to Jim, who drives the points leader, trying to take the lead away. Of course, had it early in the race. Bobby Benz, last week's winner, is now third in the 60. Nicola closing right back in on Bacalon, and Ben staying in the mix as well in the 60 car. 4 laps to go, 4 to go. Bacalon year. The 5 of Jim Nicola has 2 wins this year, and the 60 of Bobby Benz has 2 wins this year. They run 1, 2, and 3. Matt Smith, a Nuclear Banana 31, trying the outside of Paul Urso's 37. Still Urso's 6th and Smith 7th. Scott is 5th. Georgie Nicola 4th, Bobby Benz 3rd, Jim Nicola 2nd, and Mike Bacalon is your leader with 2 laps remaining. Oh, Nicola. A little away from him a little bit there in the middle of 1 and 2. And look at Bobby Benz in the 60 coming to the low side. Those two are in the battle for the points lead as well. Benz makes the pass for 2nd here on the final lap. Benz 12 points behind Nicola, a chance to pick up 2 points on him tonight, and now nephew Georgie trying to pass Uncle Jim for 3rd. They're coming to the checkered flag. Mike Bacalon out of the hospital bed a week ago and into victory lane tonight. Bobby Benz 2nd, Georgie Nicola passing Uncle Jim. Georgie gets 3rd, Jim Nicola 4th, and Gary Scott 5th. Win of the year for Mike Bacalon on Napa night. Preliminary to the Napa 200. The folks from Serini Harley-Davidson also with us this evening. Mike, congratulations. You got to feel a lot better tonight than you did a week ago.
Yeah, last Tuesday I had my gallbladder out and I missed a week of racing, and doctor said, take it easy tonight, so here, I'm taking it easy.
Well, you got out in front there, you got by Jim, but man, he wouldn't let you get away, and then Bobby put a late race charge on.
Yeah, early on in the race, my car was really good, and it started getting real loose off the corner. And like you said, I knew he was still back there, and all I wanted to do was protect the bottom then, just make sure he wasn't on the inside on the corners. And the competitors here are so good all year long. I mean, it's anybody's race. Last year it wasn't where you started, it was how good you were. This year it's where you start. Hopefully that's where you finish.
Because they're all good. Yeah, I made the comment at one point, the first 6 cars in that race all had at least 1 feature win, and you weren't separated by about 100 yards.
Well, that's what it is. It's so the cars are so equal. It's hard to get by here. Everybody did their homework over the winter and come back with something that works. Last year we had maybe 3-4 cars here that worked. This year there's 10 cars that work. It wouldn't surprise me if like all the way back to 10th got a win.
Well, congratulations, and your night's done now. You can relax.
Yeah, finally get out of this heat a little bit. Maybe once the sun goes down, it'll cool down for all you fans too.
All right, have a nice hand, folks. For Mike Bacalon, the folks from Napa are down here to get their picture taken with him. Folks, if you haven't already, be sure to sign up for the Napa Keep Waltrip Off the Wall competition. We'll be having an intermission with 2 of you lucky fans. If you're interested, again, stop back to the souvenir stand. From Pittsburgh, 74, Jason Holder from Stoystown. 13, Chris Vergona from Pitcairn. 70, Todd Knight from Monroeville. The 4 of Vince Cater from New Salem. 45, Donnie Blank. Don Blank Jr. out of Pittsburgh. The 22 of Robin Rimmel from White. 34, Rich Nicola, last week's winner. Rich from Pittsburgh. The 7 of Garrett Hoos out of Perryopolis. 71 is Tom Knight Sr. from Monroeville. 98 of Jamie Shipley from Portview. And the 64 of Bill Henry from Vandergrift. 20 laps for the Subway Street Stocks. Frank Turek, Fast Frank, from the pole out in front. The Westside Lube and Tire, Turek's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. The number 5, Jason Holder to 2nd. Todd Knight, a close 3rd. Sean Rick, the outside front row starter, is 4th. Then Don Blank Jr., Rich Nicola, up to 6th as Todd Knight moves to 2nd in the 70. in the 5 and Todd Knight in the 70, each with 4 wins this year. They run 1 and 2 right now. Knight trying to get underneath Turek as they head into turn 1. Still Frank in front. Todd second. Jason Holder by himself in third. Sean Rick in the 44 fourth. 34 Rich Nicola to the outside of the 44 Sean Rick. Todd Knight looks to the outside, looks to the inside of Frank Turek. To go, 15 laps remaining. Got a mad scramble for the second half of the top 10. Todd Knight really starting to put the heat on Frank Turek. Todd hungry tonight, wants to win that sub for himself and all of you. Outside into turn 3, but it's still Turek in front. Stan's Transmissions. TJK Enterprises 70 though. Not letting Frank have any breathing room at all. Jason Holder running a solid third tonight. Rich Nicola, last week's winner, is 4th and closing in on Holder. The 44 Sean Rick is still 5th. Tried the outside for a couple of laps, now back right behind Turek down the back straightaway. Todd able to run him down on the straights, but Frank may be just a tick better on the low side, or at least he's protecting the low side well through the turns of the number 5 car. The West Side Lube and Tire. Sechrist Used Auto Parts number 5. Still a car length in front of Todd Knight. Jason Holder third, closing quickly the 34 Rich Nicola. Vince Cater is now 5th in the number 4 cars. That battle continues for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Best race going on right there in turns 3 and 4 right now. Although not a bad race for the lead. Knight again trying to carry the momentum on the upper groove, the middle groove. We're past halfway, less than 10 laps to go. Catching them's one thing, passing them sometimes can be something else. Turek trying to protect the inside. Knight may be under him this time. In turn 1, Todd Knight trying to pull even with Frank Turek down the back chute. Turek still has the nose in front, but through 3 and 4, let's see what happens. Knight down on the inside is going to take the lead, racing off of 4. Your Subway Street Stock Challenge contestant, Todd Knight in front. Jason Holder third. 34 Rich Nicola 4th. 22 Robin Rimmel has moved into the top 5. These two drivers are also battling for the points lead. Knight in the 70 car, 10 points ahead of Turek's number 5 coming into the night. 2 points for every position, so Todd with a chance to gain 2 points on Frank if he can hold him off here. Rich Nicola, meantime, in the 34 now, right there with the 3rd place car of Jason Holder. Lap traffic as your leaders race off of 4. Moving by the 7 of Garrett Hoos. And the 98 of Jamie Shipley will be the next car. Your leaders try to overhaul. Go in turn 1. The 44 Sean Rick goes around the middle of 1 and 2. Tom Knight Sr. in the 71 might have been a Frank Turek on his back bumper as we get back to green. Napa night. The Napa 200 will be the final race of the night. Rich Nicola now moving to third into 34. He's came the furthest chance to be the Valvoline hard charger. Bobby Benz in car 60 was your Valvoline hard charger in the modified feature. Three laps to go. Monroeville taking the white flag. Todd Knight, your points leader and soon to be five-time feature winner this season, as he is driving off now. The TJK Enterprises, Stan's Transmissions Chevy. Subway Street Stocks. Checkered flag waving on Napa night for Todd Knight. Turek second, Rich Nicola third. Robin Rimmel rallies for fourth in the 22. The 74 Jason Holder rounds out your top five. Folks from Napa Auto Parts will be down here. We welcome them again with us tonight for the big Napa 200. Also the folks from Serini Harley Davidson. How about a nice hand, folks, as he climbs out of the car. Your points leader and leading winner now, Todd Knight. It's just like Winston Cup, man. We got to play the hat game, you know? Yeah. Napa night, you got to put that Napa hat on. Todd, congratulations. I don't know if you knew or not. You probably heard it. You were the Subway contestant tonight. Did you know that?
Well, Frank Turek's crew told me before the race, and I thought they were going to jinx me by it.
Well, you were very patient. You know, you caught Frank, you get away from him, you catch him back, you tried him inside, you tried him outside. I thought you really showed a lot of patience.
I was trying him on the inside. He wasn't giving much room because he was hugging the bottom. I tried the outside. He gave me the line. My car wouldn't work, so I tried the bottom groove again, and eventually Frank, he slipped up, and I got up beside him and hope I ran away.
You did at the end there. After the last restart, you were gone. 5 wins now, and you know, you and here having a heck of a battle. You pick up a couple of more points tonight. Is it too early to start worrying about that, or what are your thoughts?
I think it's still too early. It's still, I think, what, 5, 6 races left? I think I'm not going to count chickens till they're ready.
No, there's a lot of racing yet to go. The folks from Napa are here tonight to get your picture and give you a trophy. And how many times have you won the subs now?
I think 3 this year.
3 this year. You're the man.
I hope so.
All right. How about a nice hand, folks? You won y'all a 6-inch meatball sub at participating Subway stores. Todd Knight. Airheads Balloon Art, all one word, .com. Or call 412-432-7177. turn 1, 02 Dan Lewis and the 3 of Robbie Young, and look out, Greg Kelly does a 360 and lost a tire. He lost the left rear tire. Looks like the tire spun right off the rim. 55 in front of Chris Kossel in the 32. The 0 of Dave Brunell in third. Look at Dave Merrill making tracks on the outside of the 69, but it's still Brunell third, Merrill fourth, and Kostelnik fifth as they exit turn 4. Stewart Jr., the truck rookie, moving out of the Charger Wars, trying to hold off another truck rookie. Chris Kossel also out of the Charger Wars, but it's Kossel taking the point in the Brooks Automotive Group. Bob Mongel's car, Care 32. Dave Merrill now into third in the 69, your leading winner this year. Dave Brunell a close fourth, Adam Kostelnik fifth. It's Curtis Stewart back in front down the front straightaway. The truck rookies going at it hot and heavy here. Curtis Stewart in Little Nature's 55 and the Brooks Automotive 32 of Chris Kossel. Dave Merrill in the 69 third, Dave Brunell in the 0 fourth, 60 Adam Kostelnik fifth, and the 02 of Dan Lewis, the 3 of Robbie Young, Greg Kelly the 36, the 90 of Bill Wintruba, and the 51 of Dave Mans. In the 02, trying to pass the 60 of Adam Kostelnik for fifth. And Lewis moves the 02 up into the top 5 after a first lap caution. He's back on the charge. Curtis Stewart Jr., Little Nature's 55 out of North Huntington is your leader. Chris Kossel, who passed him at one point, now trying to hold off Dave Merrill for second. Once again trying to rally. Pulls right in on the back bumper of the 32 of Chris Kossel. Dan Lewis, meantime, tries the inside of Dave Brunell. Lewis in the 02, passing Brunell. Merrill in the 69, trying to pass the 32 of Kossel for second. Dave Merrill to second. Stewart Jr., not often you lose the lead and get it back like he did and then extend it like he has with 8 laps to go. He was the one of the leading winners last year in the Chargers. Made the big step into the Pro Trucks. And right now, he's in the fast lane. Dan Lewis is really on the march. The 02 is all the way up to third. Kossel has dropped after taking the lead. He is backpedaled to fourth now. The battle for fifth, the 0 of Dave Brunell and the 60 of Adam Kostelnik. Not far ahead of the race leader. 5 laps from home is Curtis Stewart Jr. May have some traffic to contend with here as he moves around the 51 of Dave Mans. Bill Wintruba in the 90. About to be lapped. Dave Brunell is up to fourth now on the 0. Chris Kossel has dropped to fifth, and Adam Kostelnik will pass him. So Kossel, the handle definitely has gone away in the 32 truck. He's backpedaled out of the top 5. Curtis Stewart Jr. trying to get his first ever win in the Falcones Chrysler Jeep Pro Trucks. The Charger out of North Huntington. Dave Barrow's second. Another one of the truck rookies, Dan Lewis, has rallied for a first lap caution to run third. Dave Burnell is fourth. Adam Kostelnik fifth. Chris Gossel sixth. Points leader Greg Kelly is seventh. Robbie Young is eighth. Bill Wintruba ninth, and Dave Bands is 10th. This is the final lap. He's coming to the checkered flag. The Lenature's number 55, his first win in the Falcone Chrysler Jeep Pro Trucks, Curtis Stewart Jr. All right, first ever Pro Truck win for Curtis Stewart Jr. Had a whole of them in the Chargers here on Napa night. How about a nice hand for Curtis Stewart Jr. He'll get the extra value meals from Subway, the Mountain Dew, the potato chips, the trophy from Napa, and congratulations on getting that first truck win.
Thank you very much. It's been a long road, but it was well worth it.
Not often when you have the lead and you lose the lead, and then you still got it back.
Yeah, when he got by me, I didn't think there was no way I was going to catch him back, because those late models are really, really fast. But that shows a lot of hard work that my crew puts into it. Steve, Mike, Anthony, Jeremy, Ron, my dad, Craig. I mean, we just put a ton of work into this truck, and I just hope that this will be more of this comes like this.
Well, I think you're right. Sometimes they say the first one's the hardest to get, so that didn't take that long. You know, it's only been about a half a season.
Yeah, it's been a long half season.
You've had a few anxious moments here, but you know, you've kept it together, and here you are. All that work paying off.
Yeah, I mean, we've had our share of breaks and a lot of mechanical problems, but this is what it's all about.
People and sponsors you want to thank?
Yes, I'd like to first off thank Lenature's, Smell Pontiac, World Class Transmission, MC Cabinetry, Advanced Auto, Donahue, Steve's Auto Service, and Lynn Flooring. Without these guys and the fans, we couldn't do this week in, week out.
Congratulations, and the folks from Napa want to greet you.
Thank you very much.
How about a nice hand, folks, for Curtis Stewart Jr. Pleasant, the 9 of Rick Broadwater out of Trafford, the 50 of Jeff Giles from Vanderbilt tonight to Gregory Ritzko. Racing. Jimmy Stokes to the 95. There goes the 4 of Mike Lemley. All the Serini Harley drivers to please take your bikes to the back gate. All these Serini Harley drivers, please take your motorcycles to the back gate for tonight's parade. Serini Harley drivers. out of Dawson is your leader. Caution, maybe. Rick Broadwater bouncing off the inside Jersey barrier, still going. Green stays out. Six-time winner. Out in front, Dave McManus in the 17, trying to run him down. The one of Tracy Keller, third. 04 Bob Ship, fourth. Jimmy Stokes in the 95 is fifth. We're past the halfway mark, coming to 5 laps to go. Dave McManus actually has closed in a bit on Mike Lemley. That hasn't happened too much this year. Once Mike's gotten in front, he's usually been gone. Out of Dawson. McManus with that white wall on the right front, helping him out here tonight. Often you see a white wall on a race car, but he's got it on the right front tonight, and it's working for him right now. Tracy Keller in the 1 is third. Bob Ship in the 04 fourth, and Jimmy Stokes in the 95 fifth. D.W. Lynn in the 8 car about to go a lap down. To go for Mike Lemley. Man is trying to charge a little more, but he may be running out of time. Hasn't picked up much ground the last few laps. Chantel Germack is into the top 5 down the 24. She started last. The 24 car into the top 5 with 1 lap to go. American Flyers are coming up next. And then get ready for the big Napa 200. Mike Lemley, wheels are off the 4th turn. This is his 7th checkered flag of the season. Dave McManus a close second, Tracy Keller third. Sponsored by Napa, Jamie Bahana and Scott Nelson. How about a nice hand, folks, for Mike Lemley? He'll enjoy enjoy the fruits of his win on Napa night and Serenity Harley night. We've got a little parade coming up from Serenity Harley Davidson in a little bit. Mike, congratulations on your 7th win. 7.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. We came into this year, we wanted to win one race, finish in the top 5. Now
You're getting greedy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't want Mara to pass me up. I got to catch up to him.
You got 7. I thought Dave McManus was going to give you a little run there. He started to close in, but in the last few laps, you sort of held your ground.
Yeah, he runs good. We don't have mirrors or nothing, so I have no idea where he's at. And I figured, well, I'm going to try to stay low. The only way he's going to have to do is go on the outside or move me.
People you want to thank?
Secrets, you pull it. Bob Costles, you pull it. Westside Lube and Tire, Checker Flag Sports Bar, Audi Racing Engines. I got to thank my mom, my wife, my dad, the Costles, everybody that helps us out. I mean, you always forget somebody, but it's been good.
Well, congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you. And I want to thank the fans.
All right, Mike Lemley, ladies and gentlemen, your winner tonight in the MOTORDROME Chargers. He'll get greeted by the folks from Napa. Again, Jamie Bahana from Banola and Scott Nelson from Fayette City. You have been chosen. Here comes your Davies Ford Mustang into the pits, and the American Flyers are ready to roll. 5 laps for the flying 4 cylinders. Dan Jordan is your early leader. Jordan out in front, Livingston second, Gene Greco third. Bill Oldham in the 5, passing Ken Dukic in the 50 for 4th. Starting to close in on race leader Dan Jordan. Jordan comes inside. Livingston gets into him, and now they back. That was like a synchronized spin. And they keep going. Good job, guys. Jordan, Eddie Livingston. Your new leader is none other than Gene Greco. He was in the right spot at the right time. Lap to go. Greco in front. Oldham second. Ken Dukic third. Then Dan Jordan and Eddie Livingston. Oldham slowing down in the 5 car. Going through the turns, but doesn't have much zip down the straights. He pushing high in turn 4. And Gene Greco wins again. Ken Dukic comes rallying for second. Oldham is third. Then Jordan and Livingston. To get down here, please. Jamie Bahana and Scott Nelson.
There you go. 2 more.
All right, I got them wrote down. Wait.
No, 2 different ones.
Wait, see if this is okay. Just stand there. How about a nice hand, folks? Gene Greco.
Hey, Phil, you got my face.
Gene, the racing gods were smiling on you, buddy.
Oh, they sure were smiling. They were smiling big tonight. I got lucky. Really lucky.
Rather be lucky than good. That's what they say.
I would take luck any day.
Well, you know, it's Napa night. You got the right car here, right? Yeah, we don't want to block that sign. Don't block that sign.
Thank you. Yeah, I got to thank Napa a whole lot for all the help they've given me on this car, and I'm glad to put it in the winner's circle for them on Napa night.
Say, if you don't win on Napa night, you could be in trouble, but you got her done.
We got her done.
How many is that now?
That's 8.
8.
But I'm not counting.
You're not counting. Hey, you're going to win them all. But last week, it looked like you were going to be a third, but you were in the right spot at the right time, and now you got to try again next week.
Yeah, we'll be here again next week. Hey, I'd like to thank all the fans for coming out tonight. I'd like to thank Red for having us here to run. I'd like to thank Huffman Auto Sales. I'd like to thank Napa, and I'd like to thank Flying Bear Trading Post and all the Rimmels up there that's rooting for me.
All right, congratulations, Gene.
Thank you very much.
Gene Greco, ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the Motordrome American Flyers. Get your 50-50 tickets out. Straight away here, please. Let us introduce to you the competitors who are going to be doing it fast and furious here tonight from the Napa 200. Let's start at the back of the field, making his first ever visit to Motordrome Speedway all the way from Wyoming, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice hand from car number 71, Sean Dunning. Next, driving the Napa number 3 tonight. Different ride. You'll know the driver from Connellsville, Bobby Henry. In car number 90, the McCullough Tire Ross Appliance Grand Prix from Irwin, Marty Panay. From Monongahela, driving the Tom Backus 61, Larry Bahana. And that sharp-looking number 80 out of Cannonsburg. Put your hands together for Nick Duratz. He hails from Ridgeway, making his second start here at Motordrome Speedway. The 46 car is Sean Schaefer. In the Howard Concrete Pumping 22, he won the Bud 100. He won the Tom Clark 150. Can he win the Napa 200 tonight? From Brewston Mills, West Virginia, Richard Mitchell. Your current Motordrome points leader, second in the NASCAR Atlantic Region standings in the Valvoline. Brooks Automotive 25 from Dunbar, Rick Miller. In the familiar colors, the green and blue, the Rolling Rock Special out of Greensburg, John Komarinsky. Starting 8th tonight, in the Napa Chevy, two-time Motordrome track champion from McKee Sport, the 31 of Mark Catone. In the Negi Gas and Oil Hunters Truck Sales 5, they've had a busy week after a wreck and motor problems a week ago. He's starting near the front tonight from Connellsville, Sean Pilla. In the white and red number 51, always has a smile on his face, makes the long tow from Clarksburg, West Virginia to race with us every Friday. The Hilltune Racing Engine Special, John Messenger. Starting 5th in the Migan Ford Stone & Company Specklin Emergency Vehicles 95, your defending track champion. He had Heartbreak City here in the Tom Clark 150. He's going to try and redeem himself tonight. Gary Wiltrout from Somerset. In the Howard Concrete Pumping number 96, looking for that first Motordrome win. He's been so close. How about a nice hand, folks, for Mark Poole out of 84 in the 96 machine. Starting in the 3rd hole, his first full season in the late models, the Blue Flame Restaurant, Mac Millwork, D&L Pressure Washing, 43 from Portview, Mike Adams. And on the front row tonight, a 3-time winner here at Motordrome, currently 2nd in our points standings, leads the NASCAR Northeast region, the Silver Bullet from Acme, the Coors Light 98 of Neil Brown. And on the pole, he has won his share of races last year here at Motordrome. He's had an up and down season so far this year. Boy, he would like to turn it around in a big way tonight. The Larry Lund Flooring and Carpeting, Froggy FM 60 from Delmont, Tommy Beck. Give us that famous command.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
All right, guys, now you got to get down there and throw that green flag, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Good job. So it looks like Jennifer Myers is going to be the honorary starter here tonight for the Napa 200, representing Napa Auto Parts on all of their participating stores. We thank them again. We also thank the folks from Serini Harley Davidson for being with us tonight, and we thank you, the race fans, for coming. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Tommy Beck and Neil Brown through 1 and 2. It's Beck in front, Brown second. Mark Poole to third. Gary Wiltrout quickly into fourth. The 43 of Mike Adams running fifth, and the 61 of John Messenger. The 51 of Messenger, the 31 of Catone. Tommy Beck, he was the early race leader back in July, on July 4th in the Tom Clark 150, and he sets the pace out of the gate here tonight. Beck, your leader, Brown second. Wiltrout is up to third. Poole is fourth, and Mike Adams still fifth. Keep your eyes on Rick Miller and Richard Mitchell as they try to move their way up through the pack after starting back in row number 6. Miller on the outside, picking up 2 spots down the back straightaway, and now through 3 and 4, still on the outside. Trying to get around the 43 of Mike Adams and the 51 of John Messenger. Miller moves all the way to 5th in the Brooks Automotive Valvoline 25 as Gary Wiltrout starts to pressure Neil Brown for second. It's Beck in front. Brown and Wiltrout will to will for second. Just 5 laps into the Napa 200. Wiltrout now clearly into second. Brown third. Poole fourth. Miller is fifth. And it's Adams, Catone, Messenger, Mitchell, and Komarinsky all running together. Richard Mitchell trying to pass Mark Catone for 6th. Tommy Beck closing in on the back of the field. Bobby Henry into the pits in car number 3. Your leader Tommy Beck lapping the 90 of Marty Panay. Gary Wiltrout second behind Beck. Brown third. Poole fourth. Miller fifth. Mitchell around the outside of Mark Catone moving to 6th. Catone 7th. Komarinsky 8th. Mike Adams 9th and John Messenger is 10th in car 51. The 96 of Mark Poole. Miller moves to 4th in car number 25. on the 98 of Neil Brown. He ducks to the inside down the backstretch. Miller on the move. He's to third. Brown fourth, Poole fifth. Mitchell sixth. Catone seventh. Komarinsky eighth. Adams still ninth. The race for 10th between the 51 of John Messenger and the 61 of Larry Bahana. Sean Dunning right behind them in the 71 car. For the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Four-car race here in turns 3 and 4. Tommy Beck not far behind that quartet. Into the Napa 200, 20 laps in. Lots of traffic ahead for race leader Tommy Beck. And these drivers all running for position. Sean Dunning in the 71 car, trying to pass the 43 of Adams for 10th. There's 2 cars, 3 cars behind those two is the race leader, Tommy Beck. Gary Wiltrout now trying to close the gap. Beck tries to thread the needle through traffic. Miller still third. Brown is fourth, Poole a close fifth. Mitchell not far back in sixth. Catone runs seventh and Komarinsky eighth. Mahana is ninth. Sean Dunning is now 10th. Dunning is 10th. Beck continues to pick him off. The Larry Lynn Flooring and Carpeting, Froggy FM, number 60. Looking strong so far. In the 60 to the outside of Sean Dunning, lapping the 10th place car, and he's still got 3 lap cars between himself and second place Gary Wiltrout. Mark Poole now fourth, Neil Brown fifth, and Richard Mitchell is right behind Brown. Side traffic ahead of second place Gary Wiltrout. So Beck has been able to make it through the traffic much better than Wiltrout so far. He's opened up that lead to half a straightaway, and now Miller is closing quickly on Wiltrout for second. Meantime, Mitchell to the inside of Brown. Mike Adams and John Messenger running side by side for position, and Gary Wiltrout trying to get by those two. He does now around Adams. Miller is just a few car lengths behind Wiltrout. And has allowed Tommy Beck to open up the biggest lead of the night. Beck makes a gambling inside pass of Marty Panay in the 90. 30 laps into the Napa 200. race for second. Also the race for fourth tightening up. Mark Poole with Richard Mitchell now right behind him, as Will Trout tries to fend off the closing Rick Miller. Continue to lap cars. The quality support, Megan Ford 95, and the Valvoline Brooks Automotive 25 in a battle here in turn 4 with Larry Bahana right ahead. Richard Mitchell moving to fourth in car 22. Mitchell now up to fourth in the 22. Racetrack for the leader, and no lap cars now between your leader Tommy Beck and Gary Wiltrout, who runs second. Richard Mitchell now continuing to lap cars with Mark Poole in tow. Those two cars running fourth and fifth. Neil Brown has dropped back a ways in sixth to the 98. Katsonen to 31 is seventh, and Komarinsky to 33 8th. He is the last car on the lead lap. Now clearing the 61 of Larry Bahana. No lap traffic between himself and the third place car of Rick Miller. Mark Poole now has some traffic to deal with in turn 3, the 96 car. Again, those cars all running for position. Larry Bahana, Sean Dunning, and John Messenger. We're 40 laps in, almost 41 laps into the Napa 200. It's the Tommy Beck show so far. Gary Wiltrout second, and Rick Miller third, Richard Mitchell fourth, and Mark Poole fifth. Neil Brown sixth, not far behind Brown, just half a straightaway back, the seventh place car of Mark Katsonen. 33, John Komarinsky, still eighth. Not far behind him comes race leader Tommy Beck. Beck to the inside again of a lap car of Nick Duratz. It's twice. Made a gamble of a move down the front stretch inside the lap traffic. Oftentimes they come down. He was able to get by both times with maybe an anxious moment or two. Sean Schaefer, the 46, almost spun out coming off the second turn, but he gathers it back up and goes on. Messenger pitting in car 51. 2. Sean Dunning in the 71. Neil Brown in the 98. Some contact there. They get straightened around as they race into 3 and 4. Laps complete. Tommy Beck trying to lap the 8th place car of John Komarinsky, who himself was lapping the 43 of Mike Adams. Laps complete. Caution is out. Caution on the speedway. Tommy Beck, your leader. Gary Wiltrout second. Rick Miller third. Richard Mitchell fourth. Mark Poole is fifth. John Komarinsky sixth in the 33. Mark Catone in the 31-7. Neil Brown in the 98 is eighth. Those are the only cars on the lead lap. Everyone else at least one lap down. Everyone that went into the pits is back out except for the 51 of John Messenger. Also, Marty Panay, I believe, has retired from the racing car number 90. At least for the time being. It's still Beck in front. Wiltrout second. Miller third. Richard Mitchell fourth. And Mark Poole fifth. And Komarinsky, Catone, and Brown. Your front 8 cars running in that order. No lap cars between them. Neil Brown moving by the 31 of Mark Catone, trying to down the backstretch. Brown makes the pass through 3 and 4. Tommy Beck continues to lead by about 3 car lengths over Gary Wiltrout. Previous runnings of the 200, it's been Richard Mitchell winning 3 and Ryan Hemphill won the last 2. No driver has ever won the Bud 100, the Tom Clark 150, and the Napa 200 all in the same year. Mitchell trying to do that tonight. He sits 4th. Miller 3rd. Wiltrout 2nd, and Tommy Beck continues to lead. Mark Poole 5th, Neil Brown 6th, John Komarinsky moves to 7th. In the Rolling Rock 33, Catone in the 31 drops to 8th. John Komarinsky for 8th, 7th actually. They're side by side in turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Racing for the 7th and 8th spots as Larry Bahana returns to the pits in car 61. Back around the 80 of Nick Duratz. Here come Will Trout. Miller and Mitchell as well. Mark Poole 5th, Neil Brown 6th. Marketone 7th and John Komarinsky 8th. Mitchell getting a run, trying to challenge Rick Miller for 3rd. Mitchell to the outside. He'll move by Miller for 3rd. Caution is out. This is when we get a chance. We're ready to get back racing now for your Napa 200. 69 laps complete. Tommy Beck has been your leader from the start. Will Trout, Mitchell, Miller, and Mark Poole. The race for 6 now between Mark Catone and Neil Brown. The Napa 31 of Catone swinging by the Coors Light 98 of Brown. Komarinsky gets by the 98 of Neil Brown. Brown looks like he's slowing down. Coors Light 98 slowing down. Falls back in line. Yeah, he's got a sick engine. You can hear it sputtering and popping, the 98 of Neil Brown. Something amiss under the hood of the Silver Bullet. Meantime, Mitchell trying to put a little pressure on Will Trout for 2nd. 25 laps into the Napa 200. The Coors Light 98 of Neil Brown. Going to stop on the racetrack. To continue to work under the hood of the 98 of Neil Brown. John Messenger crew looks like they're calling it quits in the 51. The 61 of Larry Bahana. They got it jacked up. He's out of the car as well. Beck Beck, your leader, but Wiltrout now right on his tail and dives to the inside down the back straightaway. But Beck carries her hard into 3. Wiltrout tried to take the lead here in turn 4. Oh, contact between the first 2 cars coming off the 4th turn. Still Beck in front, but not by much. Now Wiltrout nosing ahead down the back straightaway. Mitchell sits behind him in 3rd. Miller is 4th. Catone trying to move up to 5th in the Napa 31. Gary Wiltrout taking the lead in the Migan Ford. Stone & Company 95. Beck 2nd. Mitchell 3rd and Miller 4th. Catone and Poole race side by side for 5th. Richard Mitchell now right there behind Tommy Beck. Beck moves up a groove, and here comes Mitchell to the inside down the backstretch. Through 3 and 4. Mitchell pulls alongside of Beck. They rub wheels coming off the 4th turn. Oh, contact. They're racing hard all of a sudden. With contact between Wiltrout and Beck, contact between Mitchell and Beck. Beck now ends up back in 4th in the 60. Out in front it's Wiltrout, Mitchell 2nd, and Rick Miller is 3rd. Marketone 5th, Mark Poole 6th, and John Komarinsky 7th. Gary Wiltrout now really opening up some lead here in the 95 car. This is a deja vu of the Tom Clark 150 when he just had everyone covered before the alternator died and the car shut off under caution in the second half of that race, ending his night. The Tommy Beck 60 has developed a miss. The 60 of Beck is missing. That's you can hear the motor miss as it comes down the straightaways, causing his problems while leading, no doubt. The 60 of Tommy Beck. Now remember, they cannot change any parts at the halfway pit stop. I'm sure they can reattach any parts. Maybe a plug wire or something might have come loose or something like that. Starting to turn up the pressure on Richard Mitchell. Miller wanting to take that second spot from Mitchell here in the late stages of the first half of this Napa 200. They're side by side coming down the front straightaway. down the back chute into turn number 3. Miller edging ahead in turn 4. Rick Miller now to second, and Richard Mitchell falls back to third. Tommy Beckstill fourth. Mark Catone fifth, Mark Poole sixth, and John Komarinsky seventh. All still on the lead lap. Side-by-side traffic ahead of race leader Gary Wiltrout. They are stacked too wide in front of the race leaders. They head down the back straightaway. Around the 43 of Adams goes Wiltrout. Now the 80 of Nick Duratz. Wiltrout goes to his inside and almost comes up. Just cleared him. And look at Miller. Miller able to get around those two cars on the outside and pick up a lot of ground in the process. To go. Oh, Sean Schaefer, the 46. Problems here in the front straightaway. The 46 of Sean Schaefer. Limping around the racetrack. He'll make the left into the pits. On the back chute. Green stays out. So we approach the halfway mark. We're halfway through the Napa 200. Gary Wiltrout ahead of Rick Miller, Richard Mitchell, Tommy Beck, Mark Catone, Mark Poole, John Komarinsky. The last car on the lead lap. And now the caution will come out, and the cars will make a mandatory pit stop here. They're able to change 4 tires. .200 is ready to restart. Took the lead on lap 77 in Gary Wiltrout. As we restart the main event. It's Wiltrout and Miller. Mitchell in tow. Beck fourth, Catone fifth. Poole sixth, Komarinsky seventh. Miller really turning up the wick. Wiltrout trying to protect the low side. Mitchell trying to carry the momentum on the middle groove in the 22. Mark Poole on the outside in car 96 trying to get by Mark Catone for fifth. Wow, Wiltrout really shut the door into one. Whoa. Miller is up on the wheel and standing on the gas pedal down the back straightaway. They're side by side for the lead into 3, and it's Rick Miller, your leader. Wiltrout makes a run at Miller. Richard Richard Miller's sitting there, and Richard Mitchell sitting there in third. Tom Beck fourth. Poole is fifth, Catone sixth, and Komarinsky seventh. Mitchell now gaining some ground on Gary Wiltrout through the turns. Mitchell able to move up a groove. To go. Mitchell now to the inside of Wiltrout down the front straightaway. Into first turn. The battle for second. Mitchell nosing ahead and making the pass off of four. To the Bud 100 before losing the lead late to Richard Mitchell. In the Tom Clark 150, it was Wiltrout that seemed to have the race in hand, only to have misfortune giving Mitchell the lead, and Miller, who had problems early, rallied for second. Tonight, the same three players are in the mix. Tommy Beck, yeah, sounds like the miss is returning to the motor of the number 60 cars. He has dropped back a bit, still running fourth, but losing ground to the front three. Mark Poole is fifth, Catone sixth, John Komarinsky seventh in the Rolling Rock 33. Closing ground on race leader Rick Miller. As they race down the back chute. Traffic ahead for your front two. Fourth and Tommy Beck fifth. Richard Mitchell trying to take the lead from Rick Miller on the outside in 3 and 4. The lap car of Mike Adams lies ahead as they head down the front stretch into turn number 1. And Mitchell is your leader, taking the lead on lap 121. Clark Concrete Pumping. Turnkey Foundations, Tom Clark Chevy. Monte Carlo now in front of the Brooks Automotive, Valvoline 25 of Miller. And the Stone & Company, Migan Ford, 95 of Wiltrow. They're all only separated by car length. Far from over is the Napa 200. Mitchell looks like, since he's taken the lead, the handle may have gone away just a bit. Weebling and wobbling the last couple of turns in the 22. Looks smooth that time through 3 and 4. Looks smooth that time through 1 and 2. Laps to the finish. Still a long way to go. Certainly Miller not letting Mitchell out of his sights. Sean Dunning on lap par 71. About to go another lap down here. Your leaders closing in quickly on the 71 car. Staying right there with Richard Mitchell. Just a couple of car lengths back. A few more back to the 95 of Wiltrow. Mark Poole 4th. Tommy Beck 5th. Marcatone 6th. John Komarinsky to 33 is 7th. Laps to go. Car, John Komarinsky goes a lap down on the backstretch. Mitchell and Miller get by, and I mean Miller is not letting Mitchell get away at all. He's following his every move. Laps to go. Mitchell, the 4th different leader in this race, was Beck. It was Wiltrow. It was Miller. And now it's Mitchell. the 60, trying to hold off the 31 of Market Zone for 5th as they head down the back straightaway. 60 laps to go in the Napa 200. Richard Mitchell trying to lap Sean Pilla, who may be the 8th place car. It's unofficial. Mitchell's lead has grown now, a few car lengths over the last 2 laps. Coming up here for race leader Richard Mitchell as he closes in on the 5th and 6th place cars. Market Zone now into 5th in car 31. And the first leader of the Napa 200, Tommy Beck, has dropped to 6th into number 60. Trying to stay on the lead lap, now a half a straightaway ahead of leader Richard Mitchell, who's got Mike Adams and Nick Durantz battling in front of him. We are almost to the 3/4 mark. Mike Adams another lap down. We are 50 laps from home in the Napa 200. Up again, Market Zone in the 31, the 60 of Tommy Beck as they try to lap the 71 of Sean Dunning. Beck's been able to pull right back in on Zone's tail end on the Napa Chevy. The Larry Lynn Flooring and Carpeting number 60. They're just a few car lengths now ahead of race leader Richard Mitchell. Pulls to the inside here as your leaders come by. Richard Mitchell, your leader, trying to thread his way through some traffic. Guys trying to stay on the lead lap here, running for position. Beck moves to the inside now. Mitchell gets by off the second turn. Only 5 cars remain on the lead lap. Mark Catone is the last of the 5 in the Napa 31. Rick Miller in the 25 now, clears Tommy Beck. Outside of Catone into turn 3. 40 laps to go. Unable to lap Catone so far. Miller drawing back in now. Mitchell with another run down the backstretch into the third turn. This time he didn't get in as hard, but he held his line. He works by Catone down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2. Leaving 4 cars on the lead lap, the last being the 96 of Mark Poole. Still more than a half a straightaway ahead of the race leader. Gary Wiltrout by himself in third. Another 2-car race ahead of the leader, Richard Mitchell. John Komarinsky laps the 80 of Nick Duratz. Here goes Mitchell too. Miller now still yet to lap the 31 in Catone. Rick gets by Catone and the 80 of Nick Duratz as Mitchell moves by the 33 of John Komarinsky. Moving into the closing stages. Less than 35 laps to go. For Richard Mitchell with 30 laps to go. The car does not seem to drop off on the long runs. 4th place car of Mark Poole, who's having a heck of a battle here with Neil Brown. Brown, of course, a fast car, but has been in the pits for 25 laps with if a plug wire came off for what there late in the first half of this race to ruin a possible top 5 run for the Coors Light 98. Brown moves over and Mitchell goes by in turn 3. The 4th place car trying to stay on the lead lap. Richard Mitchell just a car length behind them as they enter turn 3. Less than 25 laps to go, just 24 more laps to go in the Napa 200. Howard Concrete trying to pass Howard Concrete here. The blue car is down the back straightaway. Mitchell nosing ahead of Howard. Leaving just 3 cars on the lead lap. Himself, Rick Miller, and Gary Wiltrout. Now 2 lap cars between Mitchell and the 2nd place car of Rick Miller. To go, 20 to go. Miller now has cleared Mark Poole. Finish, 15 laps remaining. The lead as big as it's been for Richard Mitchell. Trying to become the first driver to sweep the 100, 150, and 200 all in the same season. Mitchell has won 2 of the 3 big 3 races. The 100, the 150, and the 200, all in the same year. And he has never been able to win the hat trick. He's 10 laps away from doing it. Rick Miller second and Gary Wiltrout third. Clear racetrack for Mitchell. But he's got some traffic ahead. Not that far off. He's catching them quick. Rick Miller trying to mount a late race charge here. To go this time by. 5 more laps to go. Of John Komarinsky, and there's no more traffic to deal with. 3 laps from the finish. Richard Mitchell out of Brewston Mills, West Virginia. Taking the lead, I believe, on lap 122. Stay. The 6th year of the 200, looking for his 4th win in those 6 years and his 4th win in 5 starts. The only year he ran this race and didn't win it was in 2001. He has won the hat trick. The Napa 200 belongs to Richard Mitchell. Starts. 4 previous years, he's won 2 of the big 3, the 100, the 150, and the 200. And tonight, he becomes the first driver to ever win all 3 in the same season. He's won 2 in 1 year, 4 previous times. The Howard Concrete Pumping Turnkey Foundation's Tom Clark Chevy, number 22.
Let them know we're making it official that 12 and under will be free for the balance of the season.
By the way, fans, we're making it official. 12 and under will be admitted free for the remainder of the season. All kids 12 and under will be free for the of the season. Well, stay back, guys. Have a nice hand, folks, for Richard Mitchell. Richard, congratulations. congratulations. I'm sure when you put this deal together this year and your plan was to run all these extra lap races, this point along, you'd probably, I don't know if you expected to be unbeaten, but you've won them all.
No, actually, all we wanted to do was get back in the driver's seat. We, give the Bush and the ARCA deal a try, and got ousted out of that with money situations. But we just wanted to come back and stay in a race car, be competitive. And I got to thank Neil Brown for, allowing us to come look at the car and buy that off of him. And Neil's turned into a great friend of ours, and he's a hell of a competitor too.
Once again, your car just looked like it never dropped off. The second half of the race, you just looked smooth.
Well, yeah, that's probably right on the stopwatch, but the car was major tight across the center of the corners, and we just can't get that figured out. And then it's loose coming up off. But every week we gain on it, and our car seems to last in the longer races. That's our trademark, I guess.
This is the fourth time you've won this race in the 5 years you've run it. 4 previous times you've won 2 of the big 3. You're the first to win them all 3 in 1 year.
Yeah, last year, or 2 years ago, we actually had a good chance in that Coors Light car and had the rear end leaking oil, so we had to come in and we were out of the race. But I'll tell you, these 2 racetracks, Motordrome and Generalstown, has given myself and this whole team, real good experience. So anybody out there, if you're, planning on being a race car driver, these 2 racetracks is a great place to start.
See you back in a couple of weeks for the Davies Ford 100?
Yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
I want to thank all the fans, Napa Auto Parts, Frank Howard with Howard Concrete Pumping, Tom Clark Chevrolet, Tom Clark Jr. and his father, Tom Clark Sr., Mitchell Auto Parts, Maple City Tire, Eatman Racing Engines, Competition Transmission Gear, Turnkey Foundations. I got to thank all my guys. I already did. My family, all the fans again. I just love racing.
Well, it shows. Good job.
Thank you.
How about a nice hand, folks? He's the first to win the hat trick all in the same year, Richard Mitchell. Folks from Napa are down here.